Hello guys, this is Dr. Perry Rivers. I just want to let you know that we're going to start probably around 2:05 after as many students as possible have entered the session. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Well, hello everyone. This is Dr. Perry Rivers. I will be your instructor this year for Cobu 400, and I am excited to be able to meet with you guys. I know these are different situations. This is a different situation than what really any of us are used to, and it's different than what a lot of us have expected, but we can make it work. I think it's actually really good training for you for when you go and work in corporate America and you're able to do virtual meetings and video conferences. That's a very, very, very common practice. And so we will have as much efficacy in this format as we have had in others. And so I'm looking forward to having you guys this semester. I just wanted to give you guys some feedback. I am still working on importing everything over to Blackboard. There was a temporary period where I wasn't able to do that. And so it didn't allow me to import everything over to your course and the course immediately before yours. And so what I'm doing is I'm updating that, but what we're still going to do is I'm going to go over the structure of your Blackboard site. I'm still going to go over the syllabus with you. And then by the end of the day today, then everything will be there for you and available for you to complete assignments and for you to review, and it should be updated. So I'd like to hear some voices. Someone say hello. Someone introduce yourself to the class so I can have some interaction with you guys. So someone tell me your name and your major and what you're intending to do when you graduate.
Hey, Dr. Perry Rivers.
Oh, hi, Cameron.
Yeah, well, my name's Cameron. I'm a senior and I graduated this fall. I'm a marketing major, and I plan to go into like creative marketing or advertising once I graduate.
Oh, very good. All right, so have you actually applied for anything in the job market or done anything to kind of look to see what's available for you in the market where you'd like to live or work?
Yeah, so a bunch of the things that I want to do are like for bigger corporations, which doesn't really fall well with me because I'm from like Virginia and the Chesterfield area, and I don't actually want to leave for real. I just sort of like stay around here. So there's like a bunch of small marketing jobs, but I haven't found one that like I think is perfect, which obviously like for your first job you're not going to, but
yeah,
I've been looking though.
Okay, well, you know, actually my corporate background is in marketing and advertising. So I know that marketing and advertising are slightly different, but I worked for the Virginian Pilot. The Virginian Pilot is the largest newspaper here. So you've got Virginia Pilot, and then you've got the Richmond Times Dispatch. The Hampton Roads, Norfolk Virginia Beach market is slightly larger than the Richmond market. Then, of course, you guys have the Washington Post up there. And so I worked in advertising and marketing there for about 8 or 9 years before I started my own real estate company. So it's really competitive in marketing and advertising because you tend to make more money than many other people in business, and that's because there's more risk associated with what you do, and it requires a lot more human interaction usually, and there's more consequence for when things don't work out well. And so there's a lot of competition, and so the good thing is that there are some good sized corporations that exist here in Virginia if you want to stay here, but I do think you might want to cast your net a little broader. That goes for everybody that's listening, is that you probably want to cast your net a little broader. I know this is a weird time to be considering it, but we all need to be planning for when this coronavirus pandemic has ended, and we all need to be praying and planning uh, for it to end, and so you still should apply other places and everything. I think somebody like you, Cameron, would be really marketable outside of Virginia, so you might want to consider expanding your net. Anybody
Yeah.
else?
Good afternoon.
Good
I'm
afternoon.
Desiree.
Hi, Desiree.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I'm a senior. I graduated in December.
Okay.
An accounting major.
Okay, good. Do you know what you want to do?
I want to go into financial consulting and planning.
Okay.
So I'm from the Hampton Roads area.
Oh, 757.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I live in Williamsburg.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, but before I used to live in Chesapeake. I grew up in Portsmouth and Churchland, and so I am very familiar with down that way. Uh, so what are you thinking? What are you saying you'd like to do after you graduate?
So I'm from across the water. So I'm from Hampton. So
Mm-hmm.
I plan on, I did an internship over the summer with the Natasha House Incorporated.
Hmm.
It was like a nonprofit organization.
Okay.
And I plan on doing an internship in the shipyard and then hoping it
Hmm.
leads to a career there.
Okay. Very good. All right. Well, there are lots of options in the quasi-private sector here in Hampton Roads. I say quasi because it's very closely related to government.
Right.
And so, yeah, there are lots of opportunities that are here. But again, I'm always going to say expand your horizon. Um, it's a different time, I know, for you guys, but really still participate in the virtual job fair that they're having through VSU, and actively apply for positions as if you've already gotten that vaccine that's scheduled for January. And then you can um, really give yourself some more options in terms of income right after you graduate, especially those of you guys that have really good GPAs and that you would normally be competitive in the employment marketplace. So I have I have an ex-relative that's in leadership at BAE, which I know is kind of related to the shipyard down here. He's actually, I think, a vice president over there. I knew some people here, but it's just it's really competitive for the white collar positions in the shipyard. You know that, right? Yeah, so it's very competitive, and so, but you can do it. And I just think all of you guys should just be really, really, really be options since you have all this extra time at home. Go ahead and really comb through usajobs.gov and monster.com and the uh, Trojans for Hire website that we have, and really focus on developing your profile and your resume and cover letters, and taking advantage of all the opportunities for employment that exist here for you guys. So That is not what we are here to talk about today, though that is the ultimate reason that you're getting this degree. So I always want to ask you guys what you're planning to do and make sure that you're doing everything that you could benefit from while you're here at VSU. I can tell you that I don't know how things will change now that Mr. Lyons is not in his physical office. He's the director of career services, but I know that not that many people took advantage of the career services department uh, services when he was here. I would go over to ACE and it would be empty almost most of the time. And so I think that now is really a good time for you to really get your preliminary resume together and send it over to him to review and see if he has any guidance for you about the upcoming virtual job fairs that are out there. And then maybe you could even get him to give you some guidance on how to use Handshake, which is this new tool that's out there for introducing you to employment recruiters, etc. So anyway, just make sure that you guys take advantage of those opportunities. I'm going to delve right into going over our syllabus and the way that Blackboard is structured. So I am going to share my screen with you guys. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so information is important, but I do need to update this to the dates for 2020. So all of that will be done for you guys by the end of the day today. However, the structure and the format and the core assignments are all identical. And so we'll be able to go over everything. I'm going to enter a student preview so it looks the way it looks for you. And then we're going to go over these sections that I have over here on the left. So what I've done is I've tried to create, some sections over here on the left that you're going to need to readily access in order for you to get through this course. I'm probably going to add a few other buttons over here so it'll be even easier for you to navigate around. But I can tell you that most of everything that you'll need for this course is going to be located under course content. And when you click on course content, then you're able to see information about the course, you're able to see information about your professor, and then what you will also be able to see here is a weekly schedule of assignments. What I'm also going to do for you guys is I'm going to put that weekly schedule of assignments out here so that you'll be able to access it readily. Then you've also got your assignment drop boxes here. Obviously, all of our assignments for this course are going to be submitted electronically. And so then all of your assignment drop boxes are going to be there for you guys. And then you're going to have an e-textbook for this course, which you've already paid for, so you don't need to purchase anything. You just need to make sure that you've got an updated login to Cengage Unlimited. If you've never paid for Cengage Unlimited for any of your books, then there may be a charge that is added to your tuition. But your textbook is included as part of this course and as part of Cengage Unlimited. So you just are going to click on this textbook link and then it's going to take you to your e-textbook. Some of the assignments for this course are going to be tied to Cengage and their MindTap platform. And so when you click on the link for your e-textbook, it's also going to take you to the Cengage MindTap section where you'll be able to access your assignments for Cengage in addition to your ebook. I want to also show you guys, and I believe it's hidden right now, is I want to show you your syllabus. Your syllabus will also be over there on your left. It's hidden right now, but I'm going to open it up for you so that you guys can have an idea of how everything is structured for you guys this semester. Okay, my cell phone is on the syllabus for you guys, and it's up there for two reasons. So if there's an emergency would be I am in the middle of an exam and it closes on me, and I have, and I'm not able to it won't give me the opportunity to take it again. Or something to that effect. Other than that, you're kind of going to want to utilize email primarily in order to contact me. I have my email address there. We can also do advisement appointments via Google Chat, FaceTime, Skype, or even Zoom if you'd like for us to meet. So we'll be doing that. Your textbook is available to you guys. Are you guys able to see the syllabus as I go over it? Can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have your e-textbook. Remember, you don't have to purchase anything. I always still add the ISBN numbers and put that information there for you. But your e-textbook is available as part of the course. And then you also have a free companion website that I link you guys to that can help you guys with quizzes and refresher of core content information to help you with your tests and quizzes. So just a brief description of this course is that this is the capstone course because what it tries to do is to integrate all of the major concepts in management and in business that you've gone over since you've been in your degree program. And so it's going to review the principles, tools, processes, and practices that are used by managers in order to develop and to implement strategy that leads to them achieving competitive advantage and superior performance. And so really what you're going to do is you're going to learn how managers develop and assess firm strategy by doing it yourselves via a capstone project where you guys work on developing a strategy for an existing organization. And so you're going to utilize concepts from marketing, from finance, from management, from operations, from computer information systems, and from international business as part of this course. And then there'll also be some integration of some social science disciplines like sociology and economics, because obviously social structure and the economic structure of a society impact the way that business is conducted. We're also going to have a pretty significant emphasis in this course on ethics and social responsibility in business settings. I believe that all business should be conducted in a way that does no harm, at the very least, to any other stakeholders that exist in society. And at best, it should actively contribute to bettering society. And so you're going to actually get the opportunity to learn about the impact of poor leadership and unethical leadership and vice versa on the success and or failure of a company. I mentioned earlier again that you guys are going to have a service learning project where you're going to use your skills to work remotely on assisting a firm or a nonprofit organization with the development of their strategy. And so that will be a major part of this course. So some of the key learning outcomes are things that you should be able to do as a result of utilizing your skills and or participating in this course is that you should be able to analyze contemporary business scenarios and business periodical articles and demonstrate a managerial level of understanding of business operations. That's going to be important for you because many of you guys, instead of having a case to read and evaluate, you're going to have financial statements and you're going to have real life scenarios that you'll be thrust into when you get your first job. And so being able to come up with how you implement strategy given a varied scenario is going to be important for you. You're going to be able to evaluate alternative business strategies based on simulated business problems. You're going to have to develop those strategies or demonstrate your strategy in written communication, which needs to be effective. You're going to synthesize interrelationships between different units and functions of a business. You're going to get the opportunity to collect qualitative, which is going to be factually based narrative information, and then also quantitative data, which is typically numeric. And then you're going to be able to analyze its relevance to firm strategy. And then you're going to be able to have a report based on its findings, because part of the strategic plan that you work on for these organizations includes an analysis of their financial plan. Now you're going to assess multinational firm strategies and demonstrate an understanding of the multifaceted political, regulatory, technological, and social issues that affect global business. You're going to prepare a written analysis of a contemporary business case as it relates to ethical issues. And so you have a mini case analysis. I don't give you guys a full-fledged case analysis, but I give you a guided mini case analysis where instead of you having to structure a strategy recommendation just based on a scenario without an outline, I give you questions and an outline to prompt you after you choose an article related to ethics and social responsibility. Then you're going to demonstrate understanding of the impact of organizational structure on firm strategy. You're going to prepare and present written analysis of a strategy concept or theory. You guys are going to be in some small groups. And in the small groups, you guys are going to be responsible for a chapter or a subject area. And you're going to present that via Zoom and PowerPoint to the class. You're going to be able to analyze complex management information and develop logical solutions. And probably most importantly, or one of the things that's been most challenging for people who are in Cobu 400 and some of the other courses in the college is effectively collaborating in functional team settings and properly understanding goals, roles, team member functions, and engaging in organizational conflict resolution. One of the biggest challenges that historically exists with this capstone project, even the sub-level, even the mini projects that are assigned in this course and even some others, is that some people carry more weight than others, more people are committed to it than others. And ideally, everyone would have an equitable level of commitment and invest an equitable level of engagement. That's what I'd like to see in this class. But when it doesn't happen, then you need to develop strategies for how you'll respond to it in the real life workforce. I can tell you, there have been times when I was at the Virginia Pilot, for example, I handled a $1.6 million account list. And I remember a couple of times when my graphic design team didn't want to stay late in order for me to get a $10,000 ad in the Sunday paper. So they'd rather go home than stay an extra 30 minutes for us to ensure that we've generated revenue that would be dispersed amongst us all, essentially, via commissions and bonuses, etc. And so I developed many skills when I was put in that situation, including graphic design skills, which they would hate. And so when I would start tinkering with their graphic design, they would start doing the work. They would get so angry that I was trying to do their jobs too, that they would stay and do the work. But what I want you guys to know is that in every role that I have ever had in corporate America, in academia, I have almost always been in a situation where I've had to or have been compelled to contribute more than other people. And I couldn't leave the work undone, because if the work is left undone, it could affect large amounts of revenue, or it could affect accreditation, or it could affect student graduation, lots of different things. And so I need you guys to know that it seems as if it's an exercise in futility and frustration when you work with somebody who slacks off on their responsibility. But it really truly is preparation for the real world when you'll understand how important it is for you to not let the ball drop even when you are thrust with people who might not be as committed as you are. So when you guys look at your syllabus, you can ignore some of this section that's in the middle where we talk about program level student learning outcomes and course level SLOs, and we look at assurance of learning, etc. Those are things that are related to accreditation, but we have to show how what we're teaching is aligned with accreditation goals and requirements. So you can ignore that for your purposes. The next section that is going to be relevant to you is going to be our grading allocation. And so I'm going to continue to have the grading allocation that I've historically had, even though we are not meeting in person, where you guys are required to attend and to participate in terms of going over content, or when you're called upon to make sure that you're able to respond because you've read the material, or just volunteering information that you derive from the material that we have read. I'm still going to require class participation and obviously attendance, and that's 10% of your grade. I will collect attendance via Zoom, and after every Zoom session, because all of you guys have registered, then what it does is it gives me an attendance report, and then I use that for your attendance. You've got assignments that are worth 20% of your grade. So that's one of your bigger categories. And you've got a number of individual topic and chapter-based assignments throughout the course. You've got this corporate social responsibility mini case analysis, and it's worth 5% of your grade. We'll go over that in detail as it gets closer to when that assignment is due. It's due towards the end of the semester. But essentially, it's just a case analysis on an ethical issue, and you'll identify an article that addresses a business ethics or corporate social responsibility issue, and you'll answer some questions that I provided to you in narrative form. You also have a presentation to the class on a strategy chapter or a strategy theory. That's 15% of your grade. And then you have this class strategic planning project for a real organization. And then you have your exams, your midterm and your final are collectively worth 30% of your grade. Does anyone have any questions for me so far?
No.
Okay. All right, so I'll go over your course projects on your syllabus. And so your strategy, concepts, and theories topic review, that's your presentation. Each individual in the class is going to be responsible for thoroughly reading, understanding, and then explaining a set of strategic management concepts and theories to the class. And just what I'm going to do is I'm going to randomly allocate you guys to small groups. So this is where you'll get the opportunity to learn how to interact with people virtually and come up with mechanisms for organizing your communication and your workflow productivity. But anyway, you can do things like Google Drive. You can utilize tools like Dropbox. You can obviously use email, and you can even utilize the collaborative tools that are part of Blackboard and part of the group function that I'll create for you guys. But nonetheless, you guys in your small group are collectively going to be responsible for being the primary presenters of material that I've assigned to you guys, and you're going to be responsible for compiling and disseminating a good, well-written, that's what I mean by effectively composed, PowerPoint or Microsoft Word presentation that includes accurate information for that lesson to your fellow students and your professor. And then you're going to need to define and summarize key concepts and glossary terms covered in your topic or your chapter. You're going to discuss what insights you gain from the reading, and you're going to ensure that your fellow students understand the content that you are responsible for covering. You are going to primarily be the discussion facilitator for that day. And so as you go through the material, because I obviously want to make sure that it's accurate so that you guys are prepared for your exams, I will very likely cut in and I'll correct things, not in a, aha, that was wrong way. That's not the way that I communicate. I'm very straightforward, very direct. I'll just make sure that it's correct so that everybody in the class knows that it's correct. And so there is some utility for that reason in you making sure that you stay within the textbook that I provided for you in order for you to go over your chapter material or your chapter concept. And even when you have to do the theory concepts, that you stay within the bounds of the information that I've given you so that you can make sure that it's accurate. There's a slightly different set of questions that you're going to need to answer or way that you're going to need to complete this facilitator role and presentation if you have a theory. The chapters are organized already. They've got a table of contents, they've got bold headers, they've got key terms that are bolded on the side of your textbook, your e-textbook that you can see. So it's clear what needs to be emphasized. With your theory topics, not so much so. You're given some Word documents and some PDFs of articles that are related to a few different strategy theories and topics. And then from those, you're going to have to identify what is the definition of the theory that you've been assigned. Based on the theory that you've been assigned, from where does competitive advantage derive? Where does competitive advantage come from? and what does the theory say about how a firm gets competitive advantage. You're going to also answer, is the source of competitive advantage on which the theory focuses an internal source or an external source? And then you're also going to answer, what is or are the common units of analysis for this body of theoretical research? And so what we mean there is, what are the researchers measuring in order for them to prove that their theory is true? And so that will become evident and clear for you guys as we go through the course, and I'll tell you exactly what you need to do. It's not hard at all. You'll be able to readily identify that, and I'll assist you if you need help. After you've answered those 4 basic questions, then when you have the theory material, you're also going to want to consider answering, in order to enhance your grade, what is the main theorist or who they are that established the theory. How does understanding this theory help managers? So, for example, one of the theories we'll go over will be the resource-based view. It talks about how firms derive their competitive advantage from their effective deployment and utilization of the resources or the assets, both tangible and intangible, that they possess, and their distinctive competencies. And so you're going to go over how understanding that theory helps managers. And then the last question that you can answer would be, what are some key insights that you derive from the academic journal articles provided on the theory that you've been assigned? Okay, I give you specifications on how long that assignment needs to be. And then I give you detail for your second project on the strategic plan or the class service learning project. So before I go over that, does anyone have any comments or questions for me so far?
No.
Okay. All right, so the strategic plan, the class service learning project, is, I've already pretty much gone over it. You can put all your college education to work. You're all going to work together to develop a strategic plan. And really, that's the way a lot of the major marketing and management consulting firms work when they've got business clients, and that everyone in the organization is committed to developing a recommendation or strategy or component of the recommendation for strategy for that organization. So that's the way that this project will work out for you guys. And I give you some detail there. It's pretty straightforward, but I have an outline that you guys will use so you're not left in the dark. It gives you exactly what you're going to need to be addressing, and it's pretty straightforward. That strategic plan has 3 components that are due at 3 different times throughout the semester. An update, which is my way of knowing that everybody is engaged, a rough draft, which demonstrates whatever work level you have been able to contribute at that point. And then you've got the final strategic plan. The last project that you have is an individual project. The first 2 are group projects. The first one is a small group project. The strategic plan is an entire class group project. But this corporate social responsibility mini case analysis is an individually written paper where you complete a mini case analysis assignment based on a New York Times or other business periodical article. This assignment will give you the opportunity to simulate implementation of your business solution in response to the corporate social responsibility or ethics issue that is emergent in the article, and then you're going to be able to assess likely outcomes. And then I give you details on what you're going to want to include in that assignment that are very straightforward, and we can go over that also in more detail as it gets closer to when that assignment is due. So just some classroom guidelines, and my expectations of you is for you to participate. So I like it when you guys are speaking up. If I say, hey, can you hear me? If I give you the opportunity to say something, just like the 3 students did today, where they introduced themselves, and I want you guys to feel free and comfortable to do that. And it facilitates class understanding and makes our time more meaningful together when you're actually participating in the material in lieu of just sitting in Zoom. I also expect professionalism from you. So, no bad attitudes, no disrespect of your instructor or other students in this format. No gossip, no use of non-instructor directed technology while we're in the Zoom sessions or other discussions that are doing our our lectures or class sessions. None of those are appropriate or will be tolerated. You're gonna wanna just try to your best to focus on what's at hand and silence your cell phone, and just know that excellent written and verbal communication is not just my expectation of you, but it's also society's requirement of you. And then if you miss a class, who's responsible for getting the information from a class member or consulting the syllabus? You guys tell me. So if you miss a class, who's responsible for getting the information from a class member or consulting the syllabus?
Yourself.
We are.
You are. What did we go over today, Dr. Perry Rivers? What did y'all talk about today, Dr. Perry Rivers? Don't ask those questions. What you're going to want to do is review the Zoom sessions, many of which I will upload, depending on the substance of what we go over, to a link that you'll be able to access, and also to our course folder, our course content folder. I need you to be punctual in your assignment submissions. The good thing about this course, and really all of my courses, is that I kind of have a standard rule that all assignments, not kind of have, I have a standard rule where all assignments other than your course project components and your examinations are due on Sundays at 11:59 of the week they were assigned. So for example, everything that I gave you for this week is due on this coming Sunday by 11:59 p.m. So, this week you have a bunch of easy A pattern grade buffering assignments, like a course contract, like an online introduction assignment that tells what your name is and your major, and a few other non-consequential questions. But in general, I just want you to know that all assignments for all of my courses, and for this one in particular, are due on Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Now, if you...
What if you're on a West Coast time?
That's going to be fine. It'll indicate such. When you're logged into, it'll be fine. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
And the reason that's, just so you'll know, there's a little bit of a buffer in the late penalties that I impose anyway. So let me add the explanation of late penalties to you guys too. I first want to say that I accept all late assignments. I know that's not something you're probably used to hearing, but I will take, without you fussing with me, every assignment that you would like to submit for this course. This course is about you demonstrating competency. Now, you will have points taken off for how late your assignment is. So I have a 5-point penalty per week, but I will still take every single assignment in this course. So this is why it's really important right now during this first week for you to get organized. And when I say organized, I don't mean just in terms of you accessing the Zoom sessions that we're in. I mean, in addition to you accessing these Zoom sessions, I'm talking about where you're going to work in your home, your internet access, stability, do what you can to study that, where your books are going to be kept, the times of the day that you're going to work on certain courses, that sort of thing. You really need to get as organized as possible, since you're at home. And so in a lot of ways that's good, because if you're organized in a self-paced environment, you can go as far ahead as you'd like, except for to the midterms and finals, and obviously the group projects, which you can't control when those are due, and what your fellow team members do. But there are lots of distractions at home too. So you can go to sleep when you should work. You can go get something to eat when you should work. You can watch TV when you should work. You can go on social media when you should work. You can do a lot of different things when you should be working. And so you're just going to want to do whatever you need to do in order to manage that, so that you're able to focus and get through this course as successfully as possible for you. No unauthorized collaboration or plagiarism. It's difficult to do that remotely, but I've had students to try. So let's just not do that. Let's not try to share exam answers or project answers. Let's not recycle assignments from previous years or students, none of those sorts of things. Submit your own original work. This is the time for you to shine, let your intellect shine, and go ahead and do that. And then obviously there's just some basic technology that's required of you. You need to have access to a computer regularly in order for you to successfully complete this course. All students must regularly check Blackboard and your student VSU email. You want to use email as your primary contact with your instructor. I've been over that with you. Students can sign up for a free account at dropbox.com. You're not required to do that by any means because they do advertise to you, even though they do give educators or students rather 2 gigabytes of free storage space on their virtual drive. But you're not required to sign up for a Dropbox account, but you should have that or a Gmail account that will give you access to Google Drive, which is a really wonderful free collaborative tool for file sharing that Google has afforded to those of us who have a Gmail account. So it's just these are some things that you guys are going to want to take care of. All right, so now just go over some team project participation requirements. And I added this because of different challenges that people have experienced over the years. The main thing is to just do your part. Do your part. And then don't plagiarize your part. Don't go and copy something from the internet and then go dump it in there. I mean, actually contribute and do your part, and then you'll do well. And just know that conveying the correct information is not sufficient for an A, because that's just what's expected of you. You know, you want to convey it effectively and correctly, etc. And this is your weekly schedule of assignments. And so I need to update this for fall 2020. But what you'll see is that you've got the week that we're in, the class topic or activity, or the subject area that we're covering, any readings that I've assigned to you for that, and then you've got all of the assignments listed over there under assignments. And so you've got, for this week, for example, to review your syllabus. Obviously, you don't get a grade for that. To sign your class contract, to complete your online organization, and then what you're going to do is you're going to submit your formatted resume online to a Dropbox that I've created for you guys. And you're going to want to do that by next Monday. I say that because I'm going to ask Mr. Lyons to come and speak with you on next next Tuesday or next Thursday. Does anyone have any questions for me so far?
No.
No? Okay. The course is pretty straightforward. It really, 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 really is. Everything that you need will be accessible to you. And the way that you'll know it's accessible is I'll send you an announcement that says, welcome to Cobu 400. And that way you'll know that everything is updated and accurate and ready for you to go. And I look forward to working with you guys this semester. Does anyone have any questions for me?
No, ma'am.
Are you guys sure?
I have a question.
Yes.
Will we be meeting every Tuesday and Thursday at this time?
We will. So
Okay.
Cobu 400 is different than a couple of the other courses. Like the entrepreneurship courses have a bit more introspection and individual work that are components of them that I teach. But this course is your capstone course for one. And there's information that needs to be refreshed that you've learned over the years that'll be fresh on your mind for when you go and work in the workforce. And then also you've got all this collaborative work. So we will, for this class, meet all the time from 2 until 3:20, unless you get some notice from me that indicates otherwise. That was a good question. Desiree.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions, guys?
Dr. Rivers,
Yes.
this is Darius Holman. How are you?
Hi, Darius.
So I'm pretty sure I heard you say it a couple times. I just wanted to make sure I heard correctly. There's like a link on the side that says like work for this week, and that's where everything that we have to do during the week will be located, right?
Right. It's also in your syllabus. So
Okay, gotcha.
more than anything else, your syllabus is your most important tool. But cool thing about the syllabus is it can go everywhere, right? It can even
Yep.
be accessible offline, and it has everything in it: assignment descriptions, assignment due dates, course project, even descriptions, etc. So your syllabus, which is also on Blackboard, obviously. And then all I do for the weekly schedule of assignments link that'll be over there on the left is I copy and paste what's in your syllabus. Just though the weekly schedule of assignments grid, so that that's something that's readily accessible to you guys. That's a good
Gotcha.
question.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions for me?
Is the graduation packet already available for this year?
I'm not sure that it's available yet, but once it is available, then what will happen is they'll send out an announcement. I know the College of Business, we tend to be really anal. We try to be organized. We tend to be the A students of the university, right? And so
Right.
what will happen is Dr. Omajokin and Dr. Mumalini will send out an announcement for me to be able to share with all of you guys that'll let you know what you need to do. And I'll also give you guys extra credit for meeting that deadline too.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions for me?
No, ma'am.
How are you guys doing? How's your mental health? How's your physical health? How are you doing in this unique
How
time?
are you, Dr. Rivers? You seem stressed out.
Do I? Who said
Yes,
that? Who
because
said
you
that?
keep rubbing your face and
You know
putting your
what?
hands
Oh my gosh, I
down.
need to stop
You
doing
did look
that.
like you were trying to take a nap earlier.
Yeah, like
No,
you're sick of
you
us.
know what it is? I have on contacts, and so my eyes hurt. I don't know if that's a good way to. And maybe, and I'm also kind of looking down at you. Let me look at the camera. See, is this better? I'm looking directly in the camera now. So what's
You're
happening is when I'm looking down, because what's happening is I'm looking at the computer and I'm reading the syllabus and I'm going through all this. And so I'm looking at myself and my eyes look almost, do you see what I mean? So I'm looking downward. And so I'm not stressed, actually. I've got 3 little boys, and I can tell you, and I've been locked in the house with 3 little boys for 4 months, but me and my, me and my 3 boys, I've got a teenager who is, how old is he? He is about 14, and then I've got an 11-year-old about to turn 12, and then I have a 4-year-old precious little one. So I've got lots and lots and lots of energy. So they keep us running around in this house. And so I probably am a little tired, but I didn't mean to convey that to you. I'm not stressed. I'm not stressed. I'm just, you guys have got to make a point for your own mental health to fill yourself with as much positivity as you can, because, there's a lot of mental health challenges that come with you really being limited in what you can do and concerned about the future, concerned about what's going on and with this, obviously with this pandemic, and then with our, the state of affairs for our economy and our, the election, all those sorts of things. And so what you just need to do is, I'm a Christian, so it's useful for me to have faith and to do positive things, but also to just do some things to chill out and be happy. You understand? And make sure that you're communicating with friends that are positive in their perspective and are not always dumbed down and, oh, woe is me, the world is ending. So that you guys can keep your focus and keep hope alive in your hearts, so that you will be able to move on and come out of this as resiliently as possible. So I'm gonna do something with my contacts. Every now and again, I might have to pop on my eyeglasses, so that they're not my eyes get dry when I have the contacts in. So I don't want you guys to think that I'm down or anything. No, I'm fine. So, are you guys fine? Somebody tell me y'all fine. Somebody say I'm fine. Don't lie.
I'm
Somebody
fine
has-
besides working all
fine.
the time.
Say again?
I said I'm fine besides working all the time and going to school, so I think I'm pretty good.
Really? Are you able, you have masks, right? That you
Oh
wear?
yeah, I mean, well, I'm working from home too, so it's
Okay,
okay.
good. All right. Good. And those of you guys that can't work from home, God bless you. And there are lots of, now the supply chain markets have improved. And there are a lot of good things that have happened. We're entrepreneurs in this market. And even my business has done better in some ways as a result of all these things that are happening. People are exercising their creativity and doing other things. And so there are more people making masks. And so that's kind of brought down the price of some of the masks. It's also compelled some of the previous manufacturers to put some of their products back in the supply chain that were more challenging to get, else they'll lose their market share permanently from this influx of new suppliers that exist. And so I know right now there are some 3M masks that didn't used to be available. I know when this pandemic first started, oh my gosh, they were reserved on Amazon and the Honeywell site and Granger and all these places, and obviously Home Depot and Lowe's. You couldn't find any respirators or anything because they were all reserved for the obviously for the healthcare providers, and it should be.
Essential workers.
Yeah, all the essential workers. Yeah, and so I mean, I couldn't even on Amazon, even I'm a seller on Amazon, buy things unless I was designated as a healthcare organization or, so it was interesting. So, but now they're available. And so I was able to buy respirators for everyone in my house for like $25. They used to be 10 before the pandemic, but during the pandemic, they went up to 100. So now they're back down to normal prices, and there are lots of N95 masks that are out there. So, make sure that you guys avail yourself to all of those sorts of things. I have a link that I'm going to post from the Center for Entrepreneurship. I've got a 3D printer here that I was thinking about donating one to the College of Business, to the Center for Entrepreneurship. And in the interim, since we're not there, if people buy the 3M respirator and they need the respirator parts, there are filter cartridges and covers that go on it, then I can print them out for pennies instead of you guys having to spend $40 for a few respirator cartridges and things like that. So, so if you're part of the Trojan community and you need some PPE accessories, then the Center for Entrepreneurship will help you. Or I guess Dr. Perry Rivers will try her best to help you, at least with some of those parts. So we'll get through this, guys. It's going to be fine. Just don't if you need help, then you should avail yourself to the counseling center that we have. We've got a really good director of the counseling center for VSU right now. I know she's a person of faith. She's a relative actually of mine. And she works really, really, really hard. So she's trying to make things organized and accessible for people that need help. And I know there are other resources that are available, obviously through your church and your family and those sorts of things. So I know that that's not what we're meeting about, and I'm kind of, our content is really kind of very amoral strategy for organizations, I guess. But you guys are humans, and I really want you to be healthy mentally to get through all of this. So, any other comments, questions, concerns? All right, well, I'm going to let you guys go. Everything will be up for you guys on Blackboard very shortly. And you guys just be safe, and I will see you guys on Thursday.
Wait, Dr. Perry Rivers.
Yes.
Sorry. You know how over the summer you had the little chart? You still have that, right?
I don't know. I have so many charts. What chart?
I mean, like, that keep us on track of what's due.
Oh, yeah. That's in this syllabus.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's your weekly schedule of assignments. So that,
Okay.
let's see. I don't know if you guys can you still see my screen or no?
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah. So you have it here. I guess with this There you go. Your weekly schedule of assignments is there, and it has that chart. And I have it in a couple of places. So I've got it in your syllabus, but then it'll also be on the left menu for you guys also.
Okay, thank you.
So that you don't get stressed out by all the stuff that I'm putting up there for you. If you like, why don't you wake up in the morning and look at Blackboard?
Okay.
And then that way, then you'll have everything that you need, and it'll be organized the way that you need it to be, and then it'll be clear for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? All right, guys. All right, have a good day.
Have a good day.
Have a good one. Be
You
safe.
too.
Bye, guys.
Have a good day. Later.
Everyone be safe.
Yeah, everybody be safe. Yeah.